So recording is in progress. That's what it is showing. As I told you, that the second part we are going to start with the thing, and you have already downloaded those books. Hopefully, the book which is there, that Pimbok, what I am referring this, this chapter one. Where is this chapter one? Basically, I will open that book for you at my end so that you can open it at your end as well, side by side. But currently you would be able to see it very comfortably on my,
Sanjay, it is asking for access.
and who is this?
Ajay.
Ajay. Ajay, I mean, is the same login what you have given me your Gmail ID as this one here. You can
Yes.
see there. Is the
Yes.
current that whatever browser you have logged in through that?
Um,
Ajay.
uh, uh, Chrome.
Not route. Huh?
Chrome.
Chrome, huh? So is it showing this login?
No, just I'm opening that link, and once I click on that link, it will redirect me to that. Please ask for access like
Access.
that.
And then what is your email ID there? I mean, is it, see, it will always be one some Gmail login, that
Yeah, yeah.
login needs to be this. So is that amrut.santosh that route, is that the login? If it is
Hmm.
there, it will open. Just check that.
Yes, yes. I got one mail from your end. That no, no, it is different thing.
Your
Actually, I got.
login has to be same, then only it will work. Whichever is your Gmail login to that Chrome,
Hmm.
that you should give it to me so that because I have provided access to that ID, your ajay.santoshrao.route
Okay.
at gmail. So
Actually, the same ID is there. Same ID I'm using here.
share your screen. I will just stop sharing.
Okay. One second.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see that.
I will share my screen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just watching.
Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet. Not yet. Now something came. Yes, correct. Brilliant. Okay.
See.
Ah. On the top right corner, there is that Google wala icon. Just
Yes, Google Lane.
nahi,
No,
next to
this
that,
one.
that ID. Just
Huh.
Ajay, click that. Ajay. This is Ajay.route 613.
No,
Vega
no,
hai.
no. No, not this one. See, actually, I have another one also.
So you need to be on that, then it will come. There is Ajay Route 613, I think.
No, no, no. See, the where I selected,
अच्छा
they
is
dot.
this one.
Huh.
Okay, okay, okay. हाँ, good. इस पे क्लिक कर वो. I mean that in this browser window, can you paste that drive link? What I have given it to you.
Okay.
Just paste it into browser while that login is there. Yeah.
See, I'm opening new tab. Click
हाँ.
on the thing.
नहीं, यहाँ पे आ जाए तेरा डिफॉल्ट वाला 613 में आया देख. Go on to the right side.
Okay, okay. I have to switch on that.
You need to be on that. So otherwise, go into that one where you have already switched in and paste it there.
Okay.
The login will कर ले हो जाएगा फटाक से. हाँ. यहाँ
Okay, it is automatically redirect to that one. Okay, I will check. I will check. No
You
issue.
can manage the Google account and you
I will
can add
manage.
it
I will
there.
manage. I will
Uh,
manage that thing.
basically access Ajay is given on the basis of that Gmail ID, and that's why
Yes, yes.
it is saying that. I have
Okay.
another option, give the access to this one.
No,
Instead
I
of
will
that
I
one.
will I will manage. I will
कर ले
manage.
कर ले कर ले, no problem. Why should you use something which you don't you normally use? Okay, तो कर ले उसको. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I will do it. No
Yeah,
issue.
I will start
I should.
sharing my screen now, friends, and this is what you would be seeing. So, Ajay, back in the game with this particular screen there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Hmm. So this is that book, Uday, Mayuri, Pratik, everyone you will open. And that's what I was saying, 978 pages. This is that 978 pages. What I was trying to tell you, friends, is that this book is actually not one book. It is a combined PDF of three, combined PDF, which has three books there. Is that understood?
Okay.
Okay. So if you look at this book, you will find that from page number one to almost up to 577. This is 577. You will find that this is the first part of the thing which is called as PIMBOK. Here you can see this particular part of the book is called as PIMBOK 7. PMBOK version 7, which is there. This, sorry, version 6, not 7, version 6. This has all the processes, knowledge areas, and all that thing, the processes, everything is there. When I'm saying chapter, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, I mean this particular book, which is first part of it. And, it, it had total 13 chapters. So 13 chapters is the scope of the whole study there. Now, second part of it, if you look at the second part of this, which starts, somewhere below, I don't recollect, it starts here only. So part two of this particular book is called a standard for project management, which has all the processes. Now, if you want to actually, use PIMBOK 7, then this is coming into that second thing called as a process guide. I was saying process guide. There is another document called as a process guide. So if you are studying version 7, then process guide you will have to study separately. अब भी शायद डाउनलोड में आ गया होगा. I am hoping it is there now. Let me refresh this because I have downloaded it. नहीं, आ गया. Very funny. Why is it not there in the downloads? Not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. So that is the second part of this particular PDF. Okay. And then the third part of it, which starts, I think, on the 797, if I recollect this correct. Yes. This is called as Agile Practice Guide. Remember, friends, as I told you from 2021, year 2021, they changed the exam pattern. And the exam pattern, which I was trying to show it to you, if you read that whole text properly, we just did it very quickly that time. It is saying that you are going to get 50% questions on agile environment, 50% questions on the traditional waterfall model. Waterfall is basically, a linear way of working, completing the design, requirement capture, then design, then development, testing, go live. A whole 6 month long project was waterfall model. Remember, waterfall is a software word, but equivalent of that is in all the industry. All the industries use their own ways of working, but it's a linear way of working. Doing requirement capture. Remember, requirement capture has nothing to do with the software development. It is there for the data center project. It is for the network project. Do you think, I think who was that? Who was saying he's more into the infrastructure related thing? Who was there? Was
It's
that
me.
Uday? You said that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, requirement capture, is that there when you are upgrading the network?
Yes.
Design,
Yeah.
now they don't call it as a development in the thing. You might call it as a configuration, correct? Configuration,
Correct. Configurations. Yes.
correct. Configuration. Then testing.
Yeah. Same. Testing validations. Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you, that while SDLC, waterfall are the words which are used by the software development guys, they are applicable to your industry as well. And why not
Correct.
even civil construction industry do have that requirement catcher design. Now development ka they will go ahead and say call as a construction, probably. So multiple things, but that's the linear way of doing the things. Plan and freeze the requirement in the beginning, make a plan to reach that, and finally reach it. Is a waterfall model, which they are going to ask 50% question in your thing in the exam, and 50% are on the agile. Now, what does it mean? Uh, Uday, is that I still remember, in good old days, there was when the modular switches came. I
Mm-hmm.
think you may not have even heard this word called as the modular switches. In the
Mm-hmm.
Cisco का modular switches नहीं था. Earlier days, we need to buy a switch with a configuration say it will have four optical, four. ports, so many Ethernet ports and all that, and it will be remain like that only. If I want to upgrade, I need to go ahead and get rid of that particular switch and buy a new one there.
Correct.
With
Manageable
time,
and
the
manageable switches.
modular
Correct.
switches came. What does it mean? You
Correct.
need not have to change the whole thing there. You need to go ahead and put one more card into the switch, and the switch will get upgraded there. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Switches and
Extension.
routers become configurable. Now, the moment they become configurable, my waterfall switched into Agile. Is that correct?
Correct. Something
Unlike I
changing
was
in
going
between.
to go ahead and design everything in the month of April, saying that in this whole year, what is the network configuration required? I was doing designing, procuring, implementing it, and then using it for a year. If I want to make additional, if there is a new office or new office building I want to connect, I used to that let me go provide for the budget. In the next April, I will install it, and then from onward, I will do it. Nowadays, Uday, we don't wait for that, isn't it? The moment that office is ready, we go ahead and buy some more modular things there, install it into the routers and switches, and your things are upgraded. Are you
I
getting this?
also have this query actually. What is the difference between agile and waterfall? I'm just about to ask that you explaining.
So this is your agile. Are you getting, Uday? Did you notice this
Oh,
is
you mean like, for example, my client asked me to do some task,
uh,
and he gave me 6 months timeline.
uh,
And if it is in waterfall, I cannot do anything in between. Like any changes are not able to happen. And if it is in agile, I can do some changes in between the projects.
exactly.
That's what I
On fly, correct, and
correct
that
me
will
if I'm
support
wrong.
everything. Exactly. So basically, for that, what is required, Uday, is that most important thing that you should be able to break the functionalities into the pieces. Then it is possible. In good old days, when there were hard switches and router, this was not possible. Even if, see, I mean, Uday, frankly speaking, I would have loved to do that even when I was into that part of the thing in 1990, correct? But वो नहीं था तभी.
Correct.
Are you getting? Uday, did you notice that the server upgrades nowadays with this on cloud servers are actually happening within no time. You need only an approval mail from your boss, and then you need to
Correct.
only send a mail to AWS. In fact, mail bhi nahi hota. You need to log on to your cloud thing and say that from tomorrow I want this server to be upgraded to 32 GB RAM and so much of a space, and it gets upgraded, isn't it? Metering
Correct.
starts. Is that correct, friends?
We need to raise a change, and we should get a downtime, and accordingly we are performing the task actually.
Earlier days, Uday, when I was, in the earlier part of my career, we used to make a plan for 3 years, saying that next 3 year, how much will be required. According, I will go ahead and buy the hardware there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's correct.
So, so are you getting even that industry is moving into agile? So agile is all over. So 50% questions will be asked on that because the way in which you do the project management, the fine parts of it actually changes when it comes to the agile. For example, the change request and project plan, these are very relevant when it is a waterfall model. But change request and project plan are not that important when it comes to agile. Why, by the way?
Hmm.
Why? Why change is not important? Or managing change becomes relatively easy in agile as
Hmm.
compared to managing change in the waterfall model. Why is that? Yes, anyone can help Uday to think while he's thinking. Pratik, I'm sure Pratik will.
Anything may happen, right? That maybe some implementation may have issue, and it may backout plan is there.
Now, this whole
And
thing is in a waterfall. In agile, what happens, Uday? You don't make a plan for 3 years. You make a plan only for a month at a time.
correct.
Obviously, the chances on the first of January, you did something. Some stakeholder coming back and telling you on the 15th of January, saying, Uday, what I told you was wrong. Chances are very low. While if he has given you a requirement for 2 year, 6 months down the line, he might come back and it's Uday, what I told you, on 1st of January. Now we are in June. I have changed it. The chances are always higher because your plan is long. And in long plan, changes are possible. If your plan itself is only for a month at a time, there is absolutely no harm, isn't it?
Correct.
So user comes back on day one, he said that, yeah, I'm going to load so many applications into the server. You calculated it and said that 16 GB RAM should be okay. Okay. Now, if you are buying a hardware with a 16 GB and then after, you know, 1 month he comes back and says, no, 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 I'm going to install some more application. You will shout at him, Uday. You will say, Ki, boss, don't you understand? I have ordered that server. The manufacturer is actually sending that server. It's coming tomorrow. Now you can't come back and
Correct.
say, I want more applications there, correct?
Correct.
Now, if you are doing this using AWS, Amazon Web Services, a server on the rent type of concept, you would not shout at him, correct?
Correct.
You said, Ki, boss, no problem. From tomorrow, I will make it 32 GB. It doesn't matter. That is what is so. So are you getting, friends? While Uday is speaking, I hope everyone is participating and listening. Ajay, are you there with me on this? Yes, Mukul, mostly.
Yes.
So is this true about all
Yes,
the
yes, clear.
industry? 50, I mean, huge way things are changing towards the agile. Every industry. What I am trying to sell, every industry is moving into agile in that say. And that's where 2021, they said that we are going to ask you 50% questions on that. So for example, question the way in which changes will be handled in agile is going to be different than the changes will be done into the waterfall model. So those type of things. Stakeholder management, you know meeting people, having a team of meeting, going ahead publishing the minutes of meeting, then taking the acknowledgement, all those things they say that more prone towards the waterfall. Now, meeting with stakeholder, how does that happen in Agile, friends? Is it that meetings don't happen in Agile?
Regularly, at least weekly once or no bi-weekly.
And Uday, not weekly. Actual Agile when you will learn because you are not formally, it's a daily. It is called as daily scrum meeting. Have you heard this word, Uday?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Daily
Daily
scrum
scrum
meeting.
meetings are there.
तो अजय डेली स्क्रम मीटिंग का मिनट्स ऑफ मीटिंग बनाता है क्या तू? You are not. You
Yes.
are not allowed to
Sometimes.
make minutes of meeting. You need to stand, decide what is to be
Hmm.
done, and get into the action,
Yes,
boss.
exactly.
एक महीने का रिव्यू
Yes.
मीटिंग करेगा तू एक बार आ जाए तो तेरे को पूरा मिनट्स बनाना पड़ेगा टू सर्कुलेट इट टू ट्रैक. So are you getting the
Yes,
way in which stakeholders will meet into the agile are going to be different, and it is going to be different in the waterfall model, correct?
correct.
So questions will change. 50% questions on the agile environment, 50 on the waterfall is how they are going to ask you the question out of those 180. So out of 180 questions which will appear onto your screen on 10th of April, 90 are going to be on the this one. So that's how it is there, which is what they are trying to say there. Okay. So sorry. The reason for which I went there was because of this thick book. This 597, 797 onward. This book is Agile Practice Guide. It is explaining you Agile. If you have done any course like SCMs, which is Certified Scrum Master TSM, or Scrum Master, or Safe Agilist, any of that, that's what is this. This is all explaining Agile. If you are, completely new to Agile, which I am now thinking Uday might say that he is, so I will, we are going to learn it here in this course. So never mind about it. Okay, Uday.
Yeah.
So this is the third part. The advantage of using version 6 book is this, because all three you read into one book and you are able to do it very easily. That's why we are, saying about it. And chapter 1 is chapter 1 of the part 1 of the book. So basically, if I go back to my PDF again and go to, let's say, I think it is around 40 pages. Ah, see, this is part chapter 1. In overview and purpose of this guide, what are the projects, what is this whole thing is what we are doing. One of the thing, friends, because I am sure all of you are very serious about 10th of April. Is that correct to say, friends? Each one in this room is very serious
Yes.
about 10th of April.
Yes.
Yes, Mayuri said first time, very clearly that she is serious. Where do you stay, Mayuri?
Huh?
Where do you stay?
In
In
Thane, Maharashtra.
Okay, Thane, then you will have to send the sweets through the post then, Mayuri. Never mind.
Sure,
But
sure.
10th of April, you are going to crack that exam. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good. So coming back to that, what I was trying to say that this particular part of the book will is about that. So one of the thing, Mayuri, is the best practice is that on the same evening, today, for example, going ahead and opening that book once and going through the chapters what we have covered on that day is a good idea. Get familiar with that book, Will you be able to completely read it properly if you decide Mayuri to do it during that week? For example, we do only two classes, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, only for 4 hours. So remaining
Hmm.
5 days, if you are able to open that book, go through those chapters, what will happen? One rehearsal or one iteration of the study will happen by the end of the training itself. By the February itself, आपका एक revision हो जाएगा. Is that making sense, friends?
Yes, Sanj.
So that, rather than starting the study after 16th of February, when our last session will be there, it's a good idea to start it side by side. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's where this we are speaking. So today evening, just open this book, Pimbok, whatever I have taught here, and try to see that how is that. Remember, I am covering a summary in the slides, isn't it? There is no intention to copy and paste the whole of the book in this. It's a summary always there. So that's where there it has something called as a project and project management. Remember what is a project and what is a project management. This whole book is written for a concept called as a project. It's not meant for something called as operations. Operations are ongoing. So this book is not for operations, it is for projects. However, operations and project are closely linked to each other. Any explanation here, friends? How are operations guys very important stakeholder in your project? Yes, Uday?
Um, yeah, to say it, yes, as the project completes, the operations guys day in day out working on the project and continue
They are the one
supporting.
who are going to take your product, correct, Mohsin?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you will create some product. That product who is going to use it is operations. Mohsin,
Correct.
before project,
Sorry, sir.
operations guys, do they come into the picture?
No.
Now look at it here, Mohsin. तेरे को requirement mostly operations guys ही देगा. Do you believe that?
Yes.
If it is brown field, then we will
Exactly.
have it.
Green field में
If it
सिर्फ
is
नहीं
green
रहते.
field,
But
no.
to the people for whom this word is new, brownfield and greenfield is where there is nothing. We are establishing something new. Mohsin is saying that in that situation there is no operations there, but brownfield means where something is there. Now, if something is there, what Mohsin is saying that those guys are using it already, so they are using some billing system. Okay, and now they come back and cry at Mohsin's desk and yaar ye billing system है ना, when I want to do the billing which is like this, when I want to generate a half period वाला bill नहीं हो रहा है, and then Mohsin start working on to improving. So did you realize operations guys were the one who gave the requirement to Mohsin? At the end of the project, what Mohsin is saying, he will go back to those people and involve them into something called as user acceptance testing. Correct, friends? Is this word known to all of you?
Yes.
Uday,
Yes, yes.
user acceptance testing hota है equivalent of that. I don't know what do you call it into the into the network languages, correct, or infra language, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, we are going to take very funny examples in this, just to tell you saying that how are the projects common all across the thing. Do you believe that cooking for a party which is going to host around 300 people, some evening some 300 guests are going to come and some caterer is going to cook for that, is that a project?
We consider it as a project. Yes,
It's a shorter project today, correct? But
yes,
it is a project. It is
yeah.
absolutely a project. Is that correct, Mayuri?
Yes, it's a project.
Right. Do you think requirement capture will be there?
Yes, we have to do the requirement gathering, then the analysis. Everything is required
Everything
here
is there.
also.
User acceptance testing, madam.
Yes, yes.
होता है. User acceptance is certainly there. The moment Mayuri says
Hmm.
that, I am going to give this, this party to whole of my friends around, whatever 6:30 once it is ready. The caterer is going to call Mayuri while she was so busy with the guest. Madam, थोड़ा 1 मिनट आ जाना कि ये देख लेना कि ठीक बना है. Do you want me to do any changes? What's that? It's user acceptance testing. Correct?
Correct.
That's how it happens. That's how it actually happens. So all these, these are life cycle which are for any project in the world. We took this very odd example because we want to say that how we, someone has written a book here, isn't it? I mean, yeah, some other screen is coming. Ignore it. Yeah. So now coming back to, I was saying that, that what they have written a book which is good for projects, which means a caterer can use this book, Mayuri can use it, Uday can use, anyone out of this room can go ahead and use it. By the way, have I kicked off some project today?
Yes.
करेक्ट मोहसिन?
Yes.
और मेरा प्रोजेक्ट कहाँ खत्म होगा?
Towards the end of this class, 16th
ट्रेनिंग,
of
हाँ, 10th अप्रैल नहीं,
16th
10th
of
अप्रैल का
Feb.
तेरा प्रोजेक्ट है मोहसिन, करेक्ट? इज दैट मेकिंग
Yes.
सेंस? It's
Yes.
your project, it's not, but in 10th April project, am I a stakeholder, Mohsin?
No.
See, when you are looking at the stakeholder, you are looking at saying that, do I, financially investing into that? That's not the definition of project stakeholder. They say that any party who is going to be benefited or going to suffer out of that project is a stakeholder. So in that sense, Mohsin, I will be playing more like a project manager till 16th of February, if that's the day on which project gets over. But that second phase, when you will be the project manager, I am a stakeholder because I am equally interested. I am interested in, taking the sweets on 10th of April. I am going to feel bad if I don't get them, correct? So I am
Yes.
still a stakeholder. So stakeholder management. Now all these things are applicable for all type of projects. So someone has written a book which is encompassing everything from catering to to infrastructure development to a software to a civil construction. This book is encompassing all. And that's the beauty of it. Writing a book on this is really difficult in that sense, but it is there. So those, obviously, they are not going to tell you saying that, that the server should have a 16 GB RAM or 32. Or they will not say that, the software must have such and such capabilities. The database should have such and such flexibility. It is, they are generally saying requirement capture has to be there. Developing the scope, defining the scope is very important. Identifying stakeholder is very important. Those are the type of things they have written there. So it's a generic type of thing which have they written. And then project management, how do you manage the project? They say it's an ancient skill. In the very first book, uh, first page of the book, you realize, these people are saying that these are all, see this, pyramids of Gaza, Olympic Game, Great Taj Mahal, publishing the children's book, all those things they are saying are the projects. So they are saying it's not new. It is absolutely an ancient skill. It's hundreds of years. People are doing this, and that's what they say. Become it has become a profession. It was an ancient skill. There are project management which are combining the profession. What is the difference between the profession as well as the skill? Remember, if it is only a skill, it remains with someone who is doing it. He has developed that skill on himself. While when you start writing books onto that, the intention is that by reading that book, you should be able to develop that skill. Will you be able to go ahead and become a brilliant project manager by reading n number of books? It's not possible. Skills will have to be developed yourself. But the intention of writing books is that till the time the books were not there, there were so many good project managers, but they were so because of their skill. When Taj Mahal was built, when that Shah Jahan, who actually went ahead and did or decided to do that project, I am sure there would have been a project manager there. Oh, how did he choose the project manager? He went ahead, all over the probably India and search who is the guy who does this type of construction well, and he nominated him there. So it was based on skill. But nowadays it is, you say that I have done PMP, which necessarily said that you have read so many weeks, you have practiced all that thing, so you are going to be useful. And that's what I'm saying, the profession and skill. Profession is where, it is a certified profession. Skill is, skilled, which is developed by individual. Now, it's a combination when you do it generally recognized, which means is this the best way of doing project management, which PMI says? Not necessarily. This is one of the way of doing it. There are more standards. Different people will use their own books onto that. It's not a thing. Good practice, which is all over the all over the projects. So many people did it. So they went ahead and did an interview with my friend Ajay, and Ajay, how did you do this? So he said that last time, we were always, sometimes we forget to speak to the end users. I think, we only involved them into the final testing. And at that time, they came up with some new requirement. It was a problem. So, they went ahead and documented that into into the PMBOK, saying that it is good to speak to the end users right in the beginning. That's how the whole book is built. The whole book is not built by someone sitting into an AC lab and developing the book. He spoke to people like you who made so many good things and few bad things. They learned from there and incorporated those all good practices into this thick book called as PMBOK there. Standard for project management, as I told you, part two of that PDF, part two of that PDF is there. And tailoring of standard is very important. As I told you, one book which actually could be useful for a software developer, a civil engineer, a caterer, and whatnot. Then event management, all those people, if there is one book which is written, very important thing becomes tailoring. So how the stakeholder engagement is done for a catering project could be different. How the stakeholder engagement is done in terms of a civil construction is going to be different there. So that tailoring is what you need to be doing. And that's where standard is descriptive and not prescriptive. It doesn't say that you must do something like that. It says that this is the way in which it is done. You need to go ahead and choose out of it. It's not that, compulsory that you must do it like that. There is another document on the PMI side. It's called as a Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. We say that if you are a project manager, you are having good amount of power. Now, this is where first point comes. PMI says that project manager is the boss. In Indian industry, quite often the people who are titled as a project manager are not necessarily so powerful. They don't have so much of a power, but they are titled. It is just part of the career progression. So, what they are trying to say, if you are a project manager as per the PMI standard, you have the complete power about to whom you should outsource the work. While you are taking the people on thing doing their appraisal, they also think that cost, controlling the cost, and you know planning the cost, budgeting it, and controlling the cost. All those are the responsibilities of the project manager. So obviously, he also has the power to do so. This particular book called as Code of Conducts and Ethical Standard, it says that because you are having the power, you need to use it judiciously. Those standards are there. They say that, for example, if there is if there are three vendors who are going to be there, and one of the vendor out of those three, one of them is very good friend of you. You and he were the colleagues in the prior organization. Now he has set up a separate company. So he is bidding for that. So there are three of them. One of them is your good friend. How should you handle this situation? Some questions might come there. Does it mean that you should go ahead and no, you can't apply because you are my friend? Or is it that you should go ahead and say, oh, I know this guy, he's too good, let's give the contract to him? Or you should go ahead and keep yourself away from the evaluation process. Remember, in such a scenario, one of the ways to go ahead and announce saying that he is my friend. So, I'm not saying we should not give it. I'm not saying we should give it. I will keep away from evaluation. Let there be a separate panel. If you find him to be useful, give it to him. If you don't find him useful, no hard feelings. So those are the type of things which this is just a 8-page PDF. It has 8 pages. So you can download this. This doesn't need any membership as well. You go ahead and search it onto the PMI site and you'll get it. So 8 pages is there. Read that and you might get some, questions which are there. Now comes projects. The very book is on the project. So obviously the first thing they have bothered to do is something called as a project. Project is a temporary endeavor. Remember, this word temporary is important because down the line they are going to say what is operations? It's an ongoing endeavor, which means project at the start of it, there will be an objective, there will be a fixed timeline, fixed budget. And once you complete it, the project will get completed. It will get closed there. While operations are ongoing. Yes, Uday.
Nothing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So temporary versus ongoing. Secondly, project creates a unique product, which means next time if you take even similar project, either the requirements will change or the users will change, something or the other will change. While operations is a repetitive thing. It is doing the support again and again. Yesterday I solved, what are 10 calls. Today I'm going to get 12 calls. Tomorrow I will do with 11 calls. Basically, it's a repetitive type of thing is operations. On the other hand, projects are different. Projects are actually trying to create a unique product. So that's what is the difference between these two. But as I was saying in the beginning, and even everyone agreed there, which says these two entities are linked to each other. In most of the situation, operations guys are the one who are giving the requirement to the upgrades, some new changes, some improvements. Then a project gets triggered. The project guys then go ahead and create that additional thing or improvement, do the testing with help of operations, and hand it over to operations. So then from that point onward, it becomes operations. That's how it is there. It's always, they are always hand in hand. Projects and operations are always linked.
Correct. They will handle some operations, and if they have faced any issue, they will raise a request. We are facing this
That will
issue.
turn
This
into
one.
a project.
Correct.
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 So,
To resolve that issues. Yeah. Correct.
and once you complete that thing, you will hand it over. That does it mean that the whole world will come to standstill after? No. After that, they will start using. They will realize there are few more things to be done. So they will keep on going. It's an
Correct.
ongoing thing, and that's what they are trying to say. So this word, if you go ahead and translate into a typical PMBOK type of thing, in PMBOK they say the operation stakeholders are very important very important stakeholder for the project guys. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The
Correct.
project manager should know operations guys. Correct? Becomes easier.
Correct. End of the day, they used to
Sanjay,
face them. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Ajay.
yeah, see, actually, in Agile, then there is
Hmm.
some issue because
Hmm.
once we deliver means piece of cake, we
Hmm.
will deliver to end user. They
Hmm.
will test and give us some feedback. So
Correct.
the whole team will involve in single piece of cake. Okay,
Hmm.
actually, final objective is we have to deliver the whole.
Correct.
But here we have to involve our team in single piece of cake. So it is repetiting work. There is no dead end.
Hmm.
So
Good.
for that,
That's
what do you
very good
think? Miss?
observation. Yes. So what Ajay is trying to say, in Agile, it works in a little different way, friends. What happens in Agile? What he's pointing, because I have seen this question, Ajay, several times coming up, and I have seen this. I have been teaching this, for really huge period. So typically Agile, if you look at it there, it is actually a combination of these two. What is that? It is operations will go ahead, and rather than saying, now listen to this carefully. This example Ajay would have came little later, but nevertheless this is relevant. So I am giving it to you right now because we spoke about it. So listen to this. One way was, if you look at the good old ways of developing the softwares and all that thing, and just for all of us to understand, let's think about launching a e-commerce website. Launching a e-commerce website. Is that clear? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
2001. 2001. Year 2001. If this was the e-commerce was to be launched, what they were doing, Ajay, is that they were actually understanding what is an e-commerce website, capture whole of the requirements in that how it is to be done. They will go ahead and do the complete database design, UI design, then go ahead and do the coding, do the unit testing, the complete testing, and launch. And let's say that just before the Christmas 2001, just so basically on the 24th of December, we are going to go live, and myshop.com will be on go live on 24th of December. This was the way these people were working in 2001. Okay. Classically, Ajay. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Now what happened? By the time it came to 2016, it happened in multiple steps, Ajay. I mean, it was not just it happened in 1 year there. In 2016, when Ajay thought, saying that let me go ahead and launch, a online shopping portal. This time vendor, what he didn't say that, we'll do it on 24th of December 2016. What he said is that कि अजय क्या करता है पहला ना in first 1 month we'll go ahead and launch a static website यार. So on 1st of the February itself, myshop.com, a static website, which once you log in, who are us, what are our offering and all that thing. We are into electronic goods, we are giving the apparels, we are giving the clothings and all that thing. वो वाला. No ordering functionality, nothing. It is just a static website. In the second month, they said that what we'll do, we'll now put our catalog there. So people will be able to search electronics, so many items, so many things there. And the moment you click onto any of the image, Ajay, it will say, go ahead and call this number and give this item number, your order will come. That, so the person will pick up, sir, what do you want? I want an item number such as, okay, sir, give me the address and I will send it to you. That is February. In the month of March, you will be able to place an order without talking to anyone. But further, by the month of May, you will be able to track the thing. By the month of June, July, you will be able to handle sales return as well. So rather than developing in 2001, you are developing the whole website and making it live on the 12th month. Now, what he will do in 2016, every month he will go ahead and put some additional functionality and launch so much of the thing. This is the agile way. Is that making sense, friends?
Hmm. Yes.
This is the way in which Agile is actually working. So what this guy is trying to say, understand what Agile is trying to say. Yeah, Agile neither this nor this. He's saying, is that a project? Probably no, because 12 month nahi chalta hai wo. Now he is also not ready to call it as an operation. It's not that every day. It is rather than, now listen to this carefully. I am saying rather than saying one project of 12 months long, these are 12 projects of 1 month long. Are you getting this, friends? Every project will
And
deliver small part
Sanjay,
of it, not whole cake.
in
You are saying cake, huh? तो वो क्या है, ये छोटा छोटा पैन केक बना के 12 केक बना रहे तुम.
okay, अगर
That is
फिर
the
see in whole 12 months process, we have 12 projects.
correct,
Every month
correct.
we have one. Okay, so we consider after delivering 5 projects
हाँ,
of 1 month,
हाँ,
in after that we will get some requirement from end user.
correct,
ये जो था ये product इसका ऐसा नहीं, इसका color बदल दो.
correct,
That type of things happen with us. So in
correct.
that
हाँ,
case, we have to increase the team size, or we have to some member from our team, or we have to involve whole team to build that thing. And then see, in that scenario, we will increase our team size. See, lots of options are there. We have to increase our team size or ask end user to extend your timeline.
exactly. So Ajay, why 5 months? You are saying 5 months. I am saying every month it could happen because Ajay, the biggest advantage of Agile, or the basic concept of Agile is that they say that you don't freeze all the requirement for the all the thing. Have you heard this word called as a product backlog in the Agile thing? Product
Yes,
backlog. Hmm?
yes, yes.
Is the product backlog actually a total scope which is frozen in the beginning? It is not. Product backlog is an ever growing document. The product owner will keep on adding the requirements as they come into the thing. But how much out of the product backlog is to be taken will be taken at the start of every iteration. At the start of 1 month, you'll say, in this month, which are the priority item out of your product backlog? I will go ahead and develop it there. Now, one user, you took all the product backlog, and on the first you had that meeting with the product owner and started working on the third of the day. Third day, one user comes and says, अजय यार मेरे को ना एक requirement था यार, मैं भूल गया, I didn't give it to product owner. Now can you do it? Ajay said that don't get panic, my dear friend. Go to the product owner, give it to him and say that it is a priority. Don't worry, on the 1st of February, I am again going to that guy. That time I will take it. Na? I have never a problem. I will. So product backlog is an ever growing document, which means, it is people are the priorities will keep on changing. And whatever is the top priority, you will pick up from there at that point on time and then keep on doing. That's where it is actually a hybrid of project and operations. Correct?
So there is no timeline for project then. Means we have to
There is
increase the
no,
timeline.
and if there is no timeline, Ajay, next one. If there is no fixed timeline,
Hmm.
there is no fixed cost. Are you getting this?
Yes, yes, fixed cost also.
टाइमलाइन नहीं तो कॉस्ट कहां से देगा अजय तू? You can't give it.
So see, in that scenario, end user जो है, ते
हाँ,
somewhere he will going to ask us, भाई ये मेरे प्रोजेक्ट का क्या हुआ, 1 साल में कंप्लीट होने वाला था.
हाँ,
2001 वाला प्रोजेक्ट दिसंबर में कंप्लीट कर दिया था, तुम तो 2 साल से लेके ही बैठे हो. तो इन दैट केस व्हाट वी हैव टू डू?
हाँ. Now that is where they are nothing called as a scope. They call it as a product roadmap. ये सब आएगा words down the line. We are going to learn, so don't worry about it. they call it as product roadmap. What you are calling it as 1 year down the line is not still called as a scope. It is said that it's a roadmap. And roadmaps always will undergo changes, Ajay, correct? The top
Yes.
management has a product roadmap. Now, what happens here is that because there is no fixed cost, actually handling this commercially is a challenge, Ajay.
Yes, yes, exactly.
But then it
Actually,
becomes
my
difficult.
question is
Yeah,
next question is this one only.
exactly. But
So
anyway, we are going to discuss about all that, as we will go into Ajay. So
yes, yes.
maybe, we'll discuss it then. So is that okay, Ajay? Yes.
Yes. See,
Uday,
actually,
you are saying
one
something.
more question is there.
Hmm.
Why I'm asking you? I'm also using the same methodology in my organization.
Correct.
But see, actually, somewhere when the end user is asking, means business user is asking for timeline. So,
Ah,
bhai तूने किया क्या? So
ah.
that time we don't have answer to them, give to them. Okay.
Me-
Yes, no doubt they have given the changes and we documented it and we will present it in board meeting and all those things are there. Okay. So, but the right time when the end user asks us, bhai
ah.
तूने किया क्या? So that time that is very much big question for us. So what to say to him?
Hmm.
Bhai kuch answer. So that's why
Correct.
asking this question to
Yeah,
you
we'll
कि
go through all that,
क्या?
in detail, Ajay.
हाँ हाँ.
Never mind.
Yes.
Uday,
Thank you.
you are saying something.
Yeah, same. The one which you explained happened to me last year in
Hmm.
my previous project also. Like suddenly client will come and tell that I have this urgency, so I want this so and so task to be completed as soon as possible. Yes, it
Correct,
happened.
correct. See, so
Mainly
Uday,
this Christmas
that.
months, people will not work. So in that case, they asked me to add some other folks.
Hmm, hmm,
Luckily,
hmm.
we taken as a risk privilege and we added some buffering guys in the resources. It helped us.
Okay.
Yeah.
It helped you. Yeah, good. That's how it happens. Typically agile is the way in which, see what has happened, because Uday, you and Ajay are asking, I'm sure this would be a query in front of everyone's mind. What I'm trying to tell you is that one of the reasons for which agile is born is because even if, 30 years back when I was into development, in 1990 and all that, that's where I entered into IT, 1990, by the way. So if you have not heard it, 1990, my career started in 1984, so that's little funny old days. So it's really long period as per the today's thing. So 1990, when people used to give us, I mean, when we used to go to the people or departments and asking them the requirement for writing the software, we used to ask a question to them saying that, can you, whatever you are telling, tell me that your requirement should be firm. You should not change it, because now once I start the project, I can't change it. See, when designing a database, adding a field or table into the database was nightmare those days. It was very difficult. So we used to ask that question, 6 महीने के बाद क्या हो चाहिए? I mean, tell me what all you need for next 1 year. Reluctantly or happily, people were giving that particular thing to me. But nowadays, friends, if you go to your end user and ask him this particular question, saying that, can you freeze all the requirement for next 1 year? I will, once I do it, I'm not going to allow you the change. I'm sure they will say, we don't need such a project manager. Correct, friends? They said, my
Yes.
problem, Uday, they will say that my problem is that I will tell you what do I want today. But tomorrow, Madam Nirmala Sitaraman actually comes back and introduces some new rule into the parliament. I will have to comply to that.
Correct.
There are so many external factors. If you look at, ITA, as a telecom as an industry, because I think some of our friends are into the telecom domain here. The telecom domain was, if my competitor introduces a per second billing, I will have to do it within first 15 days. Are you getting this point? Mosin, do you agree to that?
Yeah, definitely.
15 दिन के बाद अगर तू गया ना, तेरा आधा कस्टमर निकल जाता है,
Customer base निकल जाएगा. Yes.
जाएगा ते, तो कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. So what I am trying to say, you might insist your end user saying that कि give me all the frozen. He said मैं कहाँ से दूंगा मोहसिन? वो वहां बैठ के वो अंबानी और वो सुनील भारती मित्तल वो जो सोचेंगे, I will have to do it anyway whether I like it or not. Correct?
Yes, definitely.
And that is where agile is the way to survive. Obviously, as Ajay is saying, there are so many issues with that. Costing के लिए बहुत problem हो जाती है उसमें, because it becomes difficult to go ahead and do the costing. So costings, I mean, if you can't freeze the timeline, you can't freeze the cost anyway. no vendor will agree for that. So वहां पर did you know heard this Ajay saying that they call it as T&M with upper cap.
Time
T&M
and material.
with upper cap. This is another very funny word which is seen to be used in the industry. Are you getting this? Time and material, which means how many people are required, as per that the billing will happen, but there is an upper cap. Total itna million, उससे ज्यादा नहीं क्रॉस करोगे आप. Now that's the best of the both world, isn't it? Time and material gives you the flexibility. Upper cap will ensure that finance guys don't shout at you. Correct, Ajay?
Yes.
फाइनेंस वाले बहुत सख्त लोग होते हैं. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
They have to be, boss. They have to be. Correct? So this actually is one via media which came into Agile with T&M with the upper cap, saying that so much of the money and within that you go ahead and do the flexibility. You have the flexibility, but इससे ज़्यादा नहीं करेगा तू. So then you can achieve there. Anyway, friends, one thing Ajay you remember. One thing you always remember is that best of the practices automatically evolve with time. Is that correct?
Yes.
जो ना impossible लगता है पहले में, that becomes possible with time. Correct? Yes.
Yes.
That's what it is saying. So anyway, we'll go through that thing, but it was really very interesting, discussions. Remember, there is fixed timeline. There is a definite start and definite end. That's very important for the project. Project has a definite start and definite end here. This is not speaking about Agile. This is more resembling to your old waterfall model. Definite start, definite end. Does it mean that the end date will not change? It is not at all the meaning, friends. Project end date getting changed is not a crime. It is in fact very common that project end dates will be not so. In the beginning it is going to be tentative. With time it will get frozen. It will become better. Your guess, your estimates will become better refined, and you will be there. So project end date not changing is not a problem, but not having a definite end is certainly a crime. A project manager was there. He was asked, saying, have you made the project plan? He said, I did it. So I asked him and asked, so let's take this same example about my friend Mukul. Mukul, are you there? The only way to avoid me taking your name in between is to keep on saying yes or no or whatever you are saying in between.
Yes, yes, I am here, Sanjay.
So Mukul, 10th of April, yaad hai na?
Yes, yes, yeah.
I will not allow you to forget anyway. So my dear friend Mukul was actually, promising me 10th of April ये सब हो जाएगा. Obviously, as I told you, even beyond 16th of February, I am a stakeholder into his project. Is that correct? Yes, friends. 16th of February, our training will get over, and I am still a stakeholder into your project. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So Mukul tells me saying that yes, sir, 10th of April, pakka. Okay. It was in the end of the February. I asked him, Mukul, everything fine? Mukul said, ha, sir. I told you 10th of April. Another 15 days. Again, I went to him and asked him, Mukul, is that 10th of April? Now this time he was little shaky. He said, sir, there are some changes happening. In our organization, there are some new initiatives and all that thing. Some new customer is there. So I think, there are changes. I think I will have to change 10th of April. I said, that's okay. I mean, finally, you can't leave the job just because of 10th of April. Changes are inevitable. I agreed to him, saying that there are the changes. So then I asked him, saying that, now Mukul, can you tell me what is the new end date? And this time Mukul said, नहीं वो मुझे मालूम नहीं. Are you getting? That's the crime. Your project should, if there are changes happening into the project, you need to calculate what is the impact of that thing, and you should have a new updated end date, which necessarily is new updated cost. All that thing has to be there. You can't say that this was the old and new one. I don't know. I don't know. And is not an acceptable answer by the project manager. You need to know what is that end date. Does it mean that if tomorrow my friend Mukul promises 10th of April to nahi ho raha hai, sir, 15th of May, Does it mean that it will happen only on 15th of May? Not necessarily. It also could undergo the changes. But at no point on time, Mukul should say that I mean, earlier was there, now it is changed. I don't know what is the new. You need to know it. If you don't know that, there is a problem. And that's what this says. What does it definite end date means? You should have always a plan saying that how are you going to reach there. That's the major, important thing about projects. And all the projects are progressively elaborated. What is this word progressively elaborated? They say that your plans will be, see, while scope and all that thing in the waterfall model, scope is frozen in the beginning. However, making the completely firm plan for the whole of the project duration is not a very economical as well as wise idea. It is good to make a broad level of plan for the whole of the period and then detailed plan for immediate future. Let me explain you what does it mean. If you are having 8 months of the waterfall project, I'm not saying agile. If it is agile, then I will call it as 8 projects of 1 month each. This is not agile. This is a waterfall. 8 months of project. Okay. Now this whole project might have multiple phases. Let's say requirement capture, design, development, whatever. Those are there or whatever, based on your domain, the phases might actually go ahead and change there. Now, if that is there, what they are trying to say in the first month, from April to August was your project. In the first month, you go ahead and make a detailed plan only for January and February. For all the deliverables you are beyond March, April, up to the August, keep a broad level of thing. These are the deliverables. The moment you come closer to the end of the January, make a detailed plan for February and March. The moment you come closer to the end of the February, make it for March and April. What they are trying to say, make a plan which is progressively getting elaborated, which means with time, they are, it is getting firm and so on. Okay. Don't try to make a detailed plan for whole of the 8 months. Any idea, friends, why is this? If there is a very efficient project manager and he is able to make a very detailed plan for whole of the 8 months or 10 months, isn't that a good idea? Why is PMI saying that you should do it only one piece detailed plan at a time? Yes, Uday?
There could be some circumstances which not replicate same as this.
Correct. So whatever you have planned, there could be a changes there. Now, one more thing, Uday, what happens is that if you try to do that type of plan, you will end up locking the resources, booking the resources for something which is in the month of January. If you go ahead and book a laboratory for the month of, May, which is an expensive laboratory, and if there are any changes there, even for a few days, the whole thing will have to be redone. The costing बढ़ जाएगा तेरा, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Your travel booking, can you do it 5 months down the line? Wala? नहीं, you can't do that. You will certainly then lose the money if you do it that way. So that planning, which was otherwise to be a very brilliant idea to be done, will actually create a problem for you now.
Yes. Pseudo project line we will take care, but it's not constant.
तो एक broad deliverable level का plan बनाओ, but don't try to do, and that is called as progressive elaboration. Basically, they are trying to say that do it in pieces, and only they call it as immediate planning horizon. Planning horizon is the name used by them. It is called as planning horizon, which means the amount of time for which you have a visibility. Make a detailed plan only for that planning horizon. Where you don't have that, which is beyond that horizon, don't make a plan right now. The moment you come closer to that, keep on elaborating that plan. And that type of thing is called as progressive elaboration, which is very important. Remember, you would say that, this looks to be a very sensible thing there. But even though this is sensible, there are some people, are habitual. Particularly, I don't know if you have noticed this into your domain, your company, your customers, but sometimes Western customers, become too possessive about a detailed plan. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
कभी कभी
I
बहुत
have
ज्यादा हो
seen.
जाता है वो. And you as a project manager, Uday, because you are born, brought up, grown into the India, you know that whatever plan I am giving to this guy, ये नहीं होने वाला है. But then because this guy keeps on shouting on you every day morning, you give some plan to him. Say, "अरे ले ले भैया आप तो." Is that making sense? See, because you know it very well, Uday, कि 3 months down the line, what this guy is saying that you will go ahead and consider, Whether that guy will remain in my company or not, I have no idea.
Correct.
Maybe 15 days down the line, he will come back and put the paper. You might say that, yeah, 2 month ka time notice period, he will give you 2 months. 3 months down the line, what he will do if I make a plan now, I'm heading for a problem already, correct?
Correct.
Progressive elaboration in that sense is a commonsensical thing, but there are so many people who don't use that common sense. They think that, ki whole detailed plan is a good thing. It is not. Remember, on top of it, it is not only about this type of risk. Booking certain things, giving the order, hardware order, giving hardware order well in time is a good idea. But giving hardware order too early could be a problem. Are you getting this point?
Correct.
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चीज में बहुत होता है. Is that, are you getting this, friends? What's the problem in electronic things I am saying? Any idea, friends? Ordering,
Warranty, support, multiple things.
warranty,
Then
support,
missing.
and cost, Uday.
Correct.
You will get much better specification 6 months down the line. Same for the same cost, you will get probably a better configuration. If you order it and keep it now, you will remain there with that, isn't it?
Correct.
Progressive elaboration is a more wise thing to do. And that's what they are trying to say here. This we have spoken, in fact, our friend Ajay was saying this, operations is a current stage. There is a project which is created there, and this project will result into future stage. Is this the last end? No. Uske baad bhi there would be, things like this. The operations guys will come back. They have certain business value generated. The current billing system is doing something, some good services there, handling, maybe up to 50,000 customers with, postpaid as well as prepaid. This is what they are doing. Um, Now they said this is not enough. Reliance Jio has come up with, something really killing idea. And that killing idea is allowing them to switch between postpaid and prepaid periodically. Very creative way of doing things. You want to do it. There is a project. Go ahead and write a piece of software which allows you to configure between postpaid and prepaid periodically. Launch it. These guys will use there. Does it mean that they will be completely satisfied there? No. Tomorrow they will come back and say कि नहीं नहीं अभी Reliance वाला तो किया, but Airtel is coming up with something really new, creative. So projects and the thing. So Mohsin, I'm sure you would know this word called a choli daman ka rishta. Have you?
Yes, sir.
Choli daman ka rishta. That's a
Yeah, it should go
business is
hand in
living.
hand.
It's a very close relationship, and that's
Yeah.
how it is there between projects and operations. They are always, working closely with each other, is what this thing is saying. And project is bringing in business value. At the end of the project, a new business value gets, open, which then businesses use it, and that's how that works. Importance of the project management is that applying knowledge, skill, and tools. Three things here. If you look at it, knowledge, skill, and tools. Remember, if you attend whole of the PMP training, and even if you go ahead and crack this particular exam, so Pratik, you will get knowledge about the project management. Correct, Pratik?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Pratik, just a knowledge does not necessarily make you a brilliant project manager. You need to have a skill. You
Yes,
get
sir.
the difference between knowledge and skill is that knowledge is, I know how do people swim, isn't it? That does not mean I can swim. Swimming is a different thing. It's a skill required. So knowledge is required, but knowledge is not enough. You need to have a skill to implement the project management. And the more on top of that, Pratik's boss will have to give the tools. If Pratik's boss does not give him appropriate tools to do the project management, then expects you have so much knowledge and skill, yaar, Pratik. हो जाना चाहिए now. I mean, if you don't give him even a simple tool like Excel and PowerPoint and Microsoft Project, poor guy having a knowledge and skill will not be able to deliver anything. Skill, where tools are required. These three, when they come together, you are able to do a good project management, is what they are trying to say. Now here there are four terms: project, program, portfolio, and operations. So we'll be, reading this whole of the text, after seeing a diagram. The diagram makes it clear. So I'm going to come back to this slide. On the top of it, there is a portfolio. In the organization, there are senior bosses, the top bosses. They are giving their strategic objectives. They are giving them a strategic objectives, and they are recruiting portfolio manager. Portfolio managers are helping the sponsor and all that thing to reach the strategic objectives of the company. Okay. To reach that particular strategic objective, he will go ahead and caught hold of multiple program managers. These program managers will go ahead and give a benefit. Multiple program manager, when they give the benefit, it will help portfolio manager to meet the strategic objectives which are given by the portfolio manager. A program manager in turn will recruit multiple project managers and some operations who will go ahead and put together, deliver a product, service, or result. Remember, this is referring to this definition. A project is creating unique product, service, or result. A product, service, or result. Some projects create a product which has a touch and feel, or maybe if it is a software, not touch and feel, but you'll be able to see that thing. Sometimes it generates the service. Some projects generate service rather than the product. If you take my own project here, is delivering whole of the thing. I'm not going to deliver probably any product to you. I'm going to deliver you a service. And that service is, you make you familiar and make you, good enough comfortable to face the thing. So it's a service. Sometimes it is a result as well, which means I am going to create a product as well as service. For example, some organization is helping you to go ahead and get the quality management certification like ISO 9000. We are helping you to achieve ISO 9000 certificate. That's a result. That cannot be called only as a product or service, so it's a result. So basically, coming back to this diagram, it is saying the project manager has been told very clearly that you are going to deliver a product, service, or result. Once all these people deliver their own product, service, or result, program manager will combine them and create the benefits for the thing. Multiple benefits, when they are created, you will achieve the strategic objectives. Now, just to understand this example, so it was a fine morning, and fine morning, Mukesh calls Isha. Oh, what's this? Who is Mukesh? Yes, Uday. You don't know Mukesh?
Mukul, you want to say, or Mukesh?
I said Mukesh. Mukesh calls Isha, is what I was saying. Yes, I am sure. यार प्रतीक तुझे तो मालूम रहेगा. Yes.
क्या सर?
Mukesh and Isha. A fine morning, Mukesh calls Isha.
Mukesh Ambani, you are talking about?
And Isha?
Isha
Daughter.
Ambani.
So
Daughter.
basically, so Mukesh Ambani calls Isha Ambani. Okay. Strategic objective देख क्या है प्रतीक.
हाँ हाँ.
It is that so far we have been in that petrochemicals, telecoms, all that thing we have done pretty well. But I think the new age, the India's average income and all that thing, I think we cannot be away from retail. We need to enter into retail. And that was the dialogue which happened between these two people. Isha, who is his daughter, and she looks into the retail wala jo hai, Reliance Smart and all that thing. It comes under that bigger umbrella called as retail. Correct, friends? Yes.
Correct.
So स्ट्रैटेजिक ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजर रिक्रूट हुआ. करेक्ट?
Yes.
Now, portfolio manager Isha went ahead and actually decided to do some program. We should go ahead and enter into whatever clothing area. We should enter into electronic area. We should also enter into grocery and general type of thing. Yes, a programs hai. These are, she went ahead and nominated the program manager and gave them, saying that by the end of the year you should have created at least 50 stores and start making a break even, which means I'm not expecting a profit to come. You should make break even. This guy was said that you should go ahead and establish at least 10 new brands, stores, and do that. So everyone has given a benefit target and he is going to reach that. Remember, I'm not saying profit, I'm saying benefit, because sometimes benefit might have a profit or it might be intensive. So for example, one of the thing in retail chain is that by the year end, we will go ahead and establish things into 50 top cities. They might at times make losses at the end of first year. Losses hota hai. It's very common thing. Correct, friends? Yes, is that clear? Oi, what happened?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct, Pratik? That's how it happens. So those are the project program managers there. All those program manager at the end of day, if you at the end of year go ahead and obtain that benefit, they will go back and Isha will provide them the performance bonus. And that evening on the dinner table, she will report to the Mukesh Ambani, sir, now we are there. That's there. Now look at it. How does that happen out between this? This program manager who was told saying that, at least in the top 50 cities, we should have a retail store in our thing. She will go ahead and nominate one of the person in Hyderabad, one of the person in, Badlapur, one into the Aurangabad and whatnot city. That's the project. He has been given a product, service, or result. He has been told, boss, next 2 months, go ahead, get a proper prime location there, establish the store, do the local advertisement on such and such date. तेरा store चालू हो जाना चाहिए. Product, service, or result. The moment he goes ahead and completes that product, service, and result, when such 50 stores will get opened, the benefit will come. All the benefits will come, the strategic objective will be made. And that's the whole hierarchy. Are you getting this concept, friends?
Yes.
So always remember, portfolio managers are for strategy objective, program managers are for getting the benefits, and projects are there for product, service, or result. They are going to create a product, service, or result. Remember, product, service, why they are not saying benefit linked to the project, try to understand that word. And that's where the definition of program comes. They say that sometimes, now listen to this carefully, one or multiple projects can deliver their own product, service, or result, and still benefit may not come. Is it possible? All
Sanjay,
the
could you please repeat?
Yes, Uday. I am saying that all the projects which are under the program might be managed pretty well. They were delivered on time. They gave all their whatever was the product, service, or result. They delivered there. It happened, but due to whatever reason, program did not achieve the benefits. Now, why is this? It is because number one, there are interdependencies between the project. If they are not managed, this guy need to maintain it. If that was not managed, these people will do their own job pretty well. But that does not mean the program got the benefit. Correct?
Correct.
It's quite possible that all these projects were delivered. If I take the same retail as a thing, and unfortunately, Indian industry or Indian, economy went into a slowdown. तुम्हारे तो सब योर ऑल रिलायंस स्मार्ट रिलायंस ग्रोसरी एवरीथिंग चलेगा नहीं दुकान तेरा करेक्ट उदय
Yeah.
so while product service or result there benefit it is possible you may not now this guy will have to take care of that this guy tomorrow if my friend Uday has been tasked to establish a new brand new store into Hyderabad. He went ahead and did it. It was the best of the thing there. Everyone was interested in, visiting that particular thing. And when he sat there with this guy for the appraisal, that guy actually comes back and tells Uday saying that Uday, you have done a good job here, but I am not going to give you performance appraisal. He said, why, sir? You are just not making any profit out of it, yeah. Is that
Correct.
fair
Correct.
to say about Uday? It's unfair, yeah,
Correct.
because he was told you make such a shop, he did it. Now the whole Indian economy went into slowdown. अब क्या करेगा वो बेचारा आदमी? Because he's responsible for product, service, or result, which you need to evaluate him by that. You cannot track him for the benefit. The benefit is product of so many other things. If they are not there, it will not. So while it was there, maybe while मुकेश भाई was thinking all that thing, गौतम भाई के दिमाग में कुछ और चालू था. Correct? And Gautam opened another shop next to where Uday established it. Correct?
Hmm.
ये मत बोल कि गौतम कौन है.
Gautam Ambani.
Adani.
Uh,
Adani. So what I am trying to say, benefits are a different thing. Yeah. You can actually go ahead and deliver product, service, or result in a project. But benefits is a different thing. Interdependencies of the project is required for obtain benefits. So many external factors, which is there. And then all multiple program put together will help you to get the strategic objective. And that's how you need to do it there. See, all these directions do change. I mean, for example, strategic objective, if it is a growth related strategic objective, listen to this carefully. I'm saying growth related strategic objective, then the programs and projects below them will undergo the changes. But if the strategic objective is to do the cost cutting, I'm using these two words. Listen, strategic objective of growth and strategic objective of cost optimization. Are both these things good? Growth is important, cost optimization is important. Yes, is that correct?
Yes.
Both are
Yes.
important, Moses. But तूने ये वाला लिया तो the projects you will have to trigger are going to be different. If you take it, your projects are going to change, Moses. Are you getting this point?
Yes.
है ना? That's how it is there. So आपने देखा ना मोहसिन, आपकी इंडस्ट्री में वो पक्का मालूम है ना, रिलायंस जियो एंड वोडाफोन वाली जो स्टोरी थी, that whole story was this guy was only looking at the growth part of it, रिलायंस जियो, और ये बेचारे कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन में घुस गए. करेक्ट मोहसिन?
Yes, sir.
आप उसके साथ नहीं फाइट कर सकते हो ना. वो आई मीन ही वाज गिविंग द फ्री सिम कार्ड विथ सो मच ऑफ अ डेटा. नो, एट दैट पॉइंट इफ यू कैन गो विथ दिस, यू विल, एंड दैट्स वेयर वोडाफोन एक्चुअली गॉट इनटू दैट ट्रैप, इजंट इट? एंड वो डेट वगैरह हो गया उसको. करेक्ट?
Yes.
So, what I'm trying to say, none of them are bad. But if you have this strategic objective, the type of portfolio, the type of projects you will create are going to be different. If this is there, your type of portfolio and programs which will be there are going to be different. So, strategic objectives are at the top, but when they change, everything starts changing. Correct? Yes. Okay, good.
yes.
And here is the thing where I actually skip. So, I will, keep this open for half a minute for you people to read and ask any question, because whatever I have explained is given in the PMBOK language here. It's a or of the same data but in the PMBOK style. Yes, is that clear? Making sense? Oh, sorry. Accidentally I stopped sharing. Yes. Okay, good. So they are saying, this is how those three entities are there. You might get some questions, on.
Last line. What is it? OPM?
हाँ, ओपीएम. हाँ, ये इसमें कभी कभी क्वेश्चन आता है. सी, टिपिकली व्हाट पीएमआई हैज डन, उदय, इज दे हैव एक्चुअली रिटन अ बुक or a standard say that how should all these portfolio, the program and project should work together in the organization. And that they itself they have written a standard, and that's called as OPM. It's called as organization project management capability. So उसका एक ये है, अभी देखते हैं यहाँ पे OPM. I think it is called as sometimes OPM 3 as well. So let's search this. Is it searching? It's moving. OPM. ये जो है ना, this like your PMBOK and all that thing, there is a OPM guide. There is a OPM guide here, which is basically organization's ability to handle the projects, which is like your quality department and all that thing. Those people, for example, look at it here, strategic PMO, much of creating momentum, champion chase across these things. So this is what they have said. OPM is that it's an organizational strategies to implement the projects properly. So that is what I am referring here. OPM is defined as the framework in which portfolio program project managers are integrated with the organizational enabler in order to achieve strategic objectives. So who was this? It was Uday. So it is saying some
Yeah, yeah.
central PMO which will ensure that all these things work very well. That type of activity is called as OPM.
Achha.
So that's what they are saying. Uh, I think it's good idea to in
So
between.
after project manager, there will be portfolio.
Correct. So if you are saying this that way, above the project manager, there will be program manager. Above the program manager, there will be a portfolio manager. Typically, project
Correct.
manager. Now listen to this carefully, and you'll understand what I'm saying. In most of the project, sponsor's role will be played by the program manager.
Correct.
Are you getting this? He's the sponsor. He will not do management.
Yeah.
Management is you, Uday, project manager. But तेरा boss है, he will be a program manager. He had, such 10 Udays with him. Correct, Uday?
Correct. Correct.
And he
Correct.
will ensure that these 10 people generate something in such a way that the company gets the benefit and he is able to secure his performance bonus because of that. But
Correct.
Uday will be getting his performance bonus the moment he goes ahead and deliver that whatever is the specification thing. If he does it, Uday gets his own performance bonus. But when
Correct.
such 10 project manager deliver that thing, a benefit comes and then program manager gets the benefit. When I'm saying performance bonus, what I mean is that it is his object. Correct?
Correct. Directors, business, etc. Will be more only.
Those type of things. Correct. So those type of things they do it. I think OPM पे बात हो ही गया है, तो let's try to
Yeah,
see
go ahead.
one question. What do you think? So ये site देख लेना, Love PMP. It's a good site. It has questions almost on everything. So I'm just opening it. lovepmp.com. PMP questions. We are going into PMP questions. It has huge thing. Just go through that. Okay. And here OPM hopefully is not part of any other trace there. Okay, good. Oh. The following Gantt chart decides schedule software the analysis. Okay. ये तो we have not done this, so let's not worry about it. This is more on agile stakeholder. OPM pe there is some question as well. Oh, OPM has become a very common part of some other phrase as well. Looks like देखते हैं OPM space OPM space. Maybe with this we get. No, same thing came there. So they are removing that thing there. See, these are the questions. I mean, this is not on OPM, but because we have come here, let's try to solve this question. Maybe on your basis of your experience, you have recently become the project manager for construction project. You are a new hire in your company and are unaware of organizational project management standard. Which of the following can help you to get the head-on start for your project. Develop the project charter and get it approved. Communicate with the other project manager in your organization. Review the PMBOK guide thoroughly and consult a lessons learned from the previous similar project. He's saying select one. We have not done this topic, friends, but I'm just saying based
Communicate with other project managers
communicate with other project managers in your
in your
organization.
organization.
Okay. Anyone
That
else?
may give some
Which one
information.
would you like to discard? Uday, one of the strategy when these type of questions are there, sometimes is useful to go with the elimination. Correct?
Okay.
So, which one would you eliminate and what's the rationale?
Something belongs to my organization. Uh, PMBOK guide thoroughly in the sense like that will be we have to eliminate, right?
But it is not the first immediate thing. Correct, Uday?
Hello, Sanjay.
People guide is is going little tangential. Yes, Ajay.
What is mean by PMBOK guide?
ये तेरा
PMBOK.
बड़ी किताब ये Ajay, this is called as PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge. Now, if you are actually confused in your own company, reading this book, Ajay is not going to solve. This book is good, there is no doubt about it.
So
But
the
there are
most answer.
immediate problem here hai ki what are my processes in my company? This book is not going to solve
So
your
I
problem.
will learn from the fourth one option.
Now, the possibility, similarly, develop the project charter and get it approved is very
First
important.
and fourth both can eliminated here.
No, first one is certainly eliminated because for that also you need to know how the company works. If you don't know, how will you develop the project? So this one is certainly gone. Third one is certainly gone. It is between 2 and 4. Communicate with other project managers in your organization. Yes, it might help you. Consult the lessons learned from the previous similar project. Now, these are the two. Out of these two, you need to take one. The You have recently become project manager. You are new hire in your company and unaware of organizational project management standards. Which of the following can help you to get heads on the project? Now, communicate with the project manager, consult the lessons learned from your previous similar project.
When he is a new hire, obviously he is in previous company. Organization to organization standards may change.
And more than that, consult lesson learned from your previous similar. I mean, एक तो तुम्हारा your नहीं रहेगा कहीं because you are completely new hire. That's what Uday is saying. Okay. Second problem about it is that see, he is not speaking about the specific type of project. He is saying you are unaware of the organizational project management standard itself. So if you read it from the similar project, will you get probably
No.
to be the best one? Because communicating with other
Second one.
project manager will tell you about the project management.
Now what is the process over here?
Correct. So basically, B should be the probably the best option here. After B, now let's go with this. In fact, after B ke pehle zero could be review PMBOK guide, but this is not going to solve your problem. You should read it anyway because you need to know the overall world level standard. That is step zero. Not going to solve my problem, but this is step zero. Then probably step one is this: communicate with other, because then you'll get to know how are the project management practices in this company. Then you should do fourth one, consult the lessons learned, because now we are trying to get into your own project's detail. I have understood now here after B, I have understood how the project management happens in my project. What are the peculiar things that I will come to know from this step number, which is a D here. And once I am doing, then I should develop the project charter. So basically, all four are good to do. But which one will solve this problem is probably communicate with the project manager. Remember, one of the problem about low PMP as a site is that very often we go wrong with our answers. So be ready about it. This green, don't be happy that you are right. You need to click it and then you get to see the red or green color, and that's what here you are right. That's what it is saying. So did you realize, friends, the way in which you need to analyze the questions and scenarios? Are you getting this point?
Hello, Sanjay, but it will take too much time to answer the question.
अब ये पूरा तेरे को आज 75 seconds में करना है. How did I
So that's why.
how did I calculate 75?
Yes,
75
60.
minutes, 60 questions. So one
Yes, yes. So
Now,
that's
what
all.
happens, Ajay, is that this is first time we are discussing this, isn't it? See, that's where the practice actually matters, Ajay. Are you getting my point?
Mm-hmm.
With time, what will happen? In Marathi, they say that even in Hindi, Uday, they said, "आपकी नजर बैठ जाती है." Have you heard this phrase, Uday?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
आपकी नजर बैठ गई. Have you heard this, Uday? It says that your eyesight is now set for something. You know that? What does
Say,
it mean? With practice, what happens? You actually end up realizing what is to be seen out of it. The whole thing you will be able to read much more quickly once your eyesight gets set to that. Correct?
Yes.
correct.
So practice will actually make a difference there, Ajay. तो इसके लिए इतना टेंशन मत ले टाइम के लिए. Time you will master it, and that is a normal learning process, Uday. Correct?
Correct.
I mean, I'm sure you would have learned the car with that car driving school instructor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Lot of you. वो नॉर्मली सबसे पहले बोलते हैं कि सर पहले क्या कीजिए कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल प्रेस द क्लच and then change the gear, and while doing so look into the right mirror, that guy is coming from this side, and look into the rear, and सामने में there is a dog, and we used to यार ये क्या क्या करूं मैं अकेला आदमी. I mean, what do I do? Now you do it very fast.
Multifunction.
Huh? Now what is that,
Multifunctional.
Uday?
Yeah.
What is that, Uday? I mean, we do it very quickly nowadays, isn't it? We do all that thing in one go. That is
इनिशियल डेज में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है लेकिन
exactly.
प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस में हाँ.
और प्रैक्टिस वो नजर बैठ जाती. यू ऑटोमेटिकली विल एंड अप डूइंग दैट. इनफैक्ट यू विल नॉट रियलाइज दैट यू हैव डन इट. करेक्ट?
Correct.
सो दैट्स द थिंग, अजय. तो अजय चिंता मत कर इसकी. Practice is the only way, but you will have to do it. So this was, an interesting question. The reason for which, friends, this question would have answered very quickly, but the way in which we did that, please do so. For every question, if you reach the right answer very quickly, don't leave the remaining three and speak about it, saying that what is wrong with each of them. Where is the catch? You need to do that. If you do that, then only you will get the right thing. Here you would have realized in this question, there were two very close choices, correct? Na?
Correct.
And the second one, which was, lessons learned wala jo hai na, usme, there was only a small mistake uday, correct? A very small thing which actually made it less attractive than the second one.
Correct.
So, and that will come with time. So don't worry about it. This is more of my representation about same thing, project, program, portfolio, and then the project management. What is a project management? It says that balancing these 6 parameters in the project is what is project management. I like this definition a lot. It says that balancing scope, schedule, and cost, and then quality, resource, and risk. Balancing these 6 parameters together makes the life difficult. Mukul, how often do you go to office, or you also have a hybrid model?
No, I work from home.
ओके गुड. एंड कितने बजे चालू करते हो लॉग इन करके काम?
Usually 10 o'clock in the morning.
और रात में कब खत्म होता है?
वो indefinite ही होता है लगभग.
करेक्ट. एंड आई एम श्योर दिस इज द स्टोरी विथ ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर्स. करेक्ट, फ्रेंड्स?
Correct.
What they are trying to see, let's try to understand. Mukul was actually handling a customer, and he was saying that these are all the scope things. These are all the transactions. These should be the reports generated. This should be the control. All these are the required scope for me. And Mukul, I want you to deliver this. So Mukul said that हाँ ये पूरे करने के, I mean, by the end of project, sir, I will deliver. I will see to it that 90% of that is delivered. Now customer shouts at Mukul. And he said, Mukul, what are you saying? You didn't hear. I said that everything out of this. He said, okay. So 99% of the thing. No. I said everything. It's okay, sir. All the main transaction, everything I do, report will develop, He said, Mukul, nothing doing. I want everything to be delivered. Scope, he is too adamant about it. This was the scenario which Mukul faced. Mohsin on the same evening was coming across with another customer who was specific about the schedule. So here is what happened with my friend Mohsin. The पहिला scope wala was Mukul's thing. Mohsin came across the another one and he said that ki, Mohsin, we are going live on the 31st of March 2025. 2025. So Mohsin said that, okay, sir, kar lenge. I mean, it's okay. I mean, we are meant for that. So you are saying that, by the first end of the March, we should do it. No, 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 Mohsin. I didn't say, I said 31st of March only. He said that, I mean, we'll try to do that exactly like that. But in the process, I mean, if you want 31st only, you can't do it earlier. I think between 31st and, 7th of April, he said, no, Mohsin, I said 31st of March. If you don't deliver that project on that time, I am not going to pay anything. I am going to put penalty on your company. And customer too adamant about the schedule. There are some customers too adamant about the cost. They said कि $1 भी ज्यादा नहीं दूंगा, इससे ज्यादा तो बिल्कुल नहीं. Don't even talk about it. Or
Correct.
correct? Now, are these easy customers to handle? Mohsin, Mukul, Pratik?
No.
Not, isn't it? I mean, ये क्या बात हुई यार? I mean, this is not good. Yes, Mukul?
Yeah, right.
But Mukul, now look at it here. Mukul ka story abhi when it is getting unfolded, the next half part of the dialogue I didn't tell. The half part of the dialogue, Mukul, he was saying that कि boss मैं तेरे को बोल रहा हूँ, all the scope is required. If you need additional, people for that, tell me right now. He says that, the whole scope should be delivered on the last day. If you need additional time, tell me right now. I am ready to do that. You need more money? Tell me now. If you take Mohsin's example, who was saying 31st of March, that ki boss Mohsin, 31st of March go live hona chahiye. If you think that some of the reports which could be delivered little later, I am okay with that, Mohsin. Tell me which are those you are going to do after the thing. But jo bolega, you will have to do it on 31st of thing. Now, Mohsin, are you feeling little better about this customer?
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah, but it's between a mutual understanding. The deliverables are well defined, and we are in a position to deliver on priority basis.
Correct.
So that, yeah,
Basically, he's adamant about one area, but he's ready to adjust somewhere at least. Correct? Yes, Mukul? Yes, Mukul?
yes, yes,
Pratik? Okay. So, I was saying, when customer is flexible about one of the, few of these parameters, it's easy to manage. However, friends, God has stopped making such customer long back. Is that correct? Do you agree with that?
yes, yes. I agree.
गॉड ने ऐसा बनाना ही छोड़ दिया. ऐसा लोग नहीं है यार. You want all the scope to be delivered. You want that to be done on time. If you ask about the cost, yes, Mohsin, cost की तो तू बात मत कर. I don't have budget there. When it comes to the quality, you need to deliver the best quality only. Resources, he is not allowing. And that's where my dear friend Mukul, उसका दिन चालू होने का टाइम है at 10 o'clock. But when he will end the day, because balancing these six parameters is the biggest challenge for the project manager. That is where it says he is a good project manager. Project manager is what? Management is what? It is balancing all those things. If you are able to balance this properly, you are a successful project manager, or rather, a definition of project management is balancing these six. They call it as, they are the different demands or something like that, or constraints of the thing. Balancing those six things together is a successful project management, which takes its own toll. It's not so easy. When you are saying that, you don't have any time about काम खत्म कब होगा इसका कोई भरोसा नहीं. It is because of this, thing. If you are given a flexibility about any of multiple of these parameters, things probably would have been easier, but that's not the reality. The reality remains that life is not that simple, easy. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Yes, good. So that's what is there. These are the six parameters. Quickly देखते हैं कुछ है इसमें. Question on this. This question bank also has an advantage that it allows you to okay, I think this is there. Just check. Balancing stakeholder interest and attaining customer satisfaction is important activity for project manager. One of the best thing you can do to ensure customer satisfaction is to define and document following, which of the following estimate, objective, requirements and quality. See the questions, quality of questions. Dekh Mukul kaise.
Yeah,
All those four things are
it should be
important to
quality.
document. Correct, Mukul?
Yeah.
So that's how they will. वो googly ball ही रहेगा हर बात. Huh?
Hmm.
But now question is that what is out of this is most important. One of the best thing.
Yeah, then quality would be the top.
Huh? Yes. अभी मुकुल क्या हुआ मालूम है ना? The moment I said best, your eyesight actually got quickly toward the quality.
Yeah, right.
फिर कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन पे मैं बात कर लेता. If I would have said that कि यार customer satisfaction, I'm sure you would have thought a different answer there. Yes, Mayuri, is that thrilling?
Estimates.
It's
See, actually, anyhow, the end user is wants means all requirement need to be
They
completed
want
in
to see
within a budget.
the what graph means they are this project is going to complete or not. They are more interested in estimates.
estimate. That's what you are saying. Good. Anyone else? Good. Now let's try to do some little more insight here. As I told you, with time ये सब आएगा सबको, so don't worry about it if you are not able to do that analysis right away there. Remember, out of these 4 items, if I ask you, saying that there are half of them, which is 2 of them, which customer will tell, and 2 of them, which you will be creating. Which are those?
So customer will give objective and requirements.
That's what Mukul, you are saying that?
Yeah.
Mayuri, do you agree
Objective
to
and
him?
requirement.
है
Yes,
ना?
yes.
Estimate और quality तुझे बनाना है मयूरी, correct?
Yes.
It is you who need to go ahead and based on the requirement.
क्वालिटी तो तब आएगा जब
Quality
प्रोडक्ट
maybe
कंप्लीट
he might
होगा.
say some of the things, but broadly objective and requirement are the some things which will come from him, correct?
Yes.
So 2 are coming from that. Actually, I was thinking, by the way, I have not seen the answer. There are thousands of questions. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't remember answer. But the logic with which I am thinking is like that. So whatever rational I am going to give it to it, I am going to click one thing there. Anyway, अभी नया बात क्या है? Requirement I am going to click. But I could also go wrong. I mean, if we go wrong, we'll go ahead and collectively learn ki why did I went wrong. But I will give you my logic right now before I click. I'm going to click requirement only. Now look at it here. While objective and requirement, listen to this carefully, friends. If I was a program manager, I would have spoken to customer about objective. If I'm a project manager, which means product, service, or result, I will speak about requirements. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Uday.
Correct. That's what. Yeah.
Uday, in our language, when I'm saying our language, infrastructure wala. Okay.
Hmm.
If you are a project manager, you will ask them, sir, how many Ethernet ports you want, how many wireless ports you want, and how many optical cables are going to come. And if he said, I want 4 optical incoming coming up there, so many things and so many, you will go ahead and document it and see to it that that is actually implemented. Correct?
Correct. If I fulfill his requirement, then he will be
Then
satisfied.
you should get your performance bonus for that year. Correct?
Correct.
But now what will your boss do? He will ask saying, okay, what are your, current users? What is your expansion plan? And as per that, वो objective है. Objective is a top thing. Below that is a requirement. Project manager will more relate to the requirement. It does not mean objectives are not important for him, but he is going to deliver whatever you say is you need it. अब उसके बाद में इफ कस्टमर कम बैक एंड से दैट कि यार उदय प्रॉब्लम क्या हुआ नाउ we have recruited 5,000 more employees and now I think so many ethernet ports are not. No, that is the question of objective. It is a little upper entity. In my opinion, requirement, if I fulfill, I should be okay with the project manager. So look at it here now. Let us read this requirement case. Balancing stakeholder interest and attaining customer satisfaction is important activity for a project manager. One of the best thing you can ensure customer satisfaction is to define and document which of the following. अब यहाँ पे और एक चीज देखा क्या उदय, this word define is a problem for
Hmm.
objective as an answer. Are you getting my point?
Correct.
मयूरी, लक्षात है? Yes,
I'm
मयूरी?
also confused between objectives and requirements. I was just looking into that. Yeah.
हाँ. See, define will be objective definition. You should not do it. It is a project customer will do it. Define and document अगर है तो it is requirement.
Correct.
Correct? Yes, is that making sense?
Yeah.
Let's try it. As I told you, Ajay, I'm always ready to get a bad slap here. So here, yeah, we are right. But now look at this. Mayuri, are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
I am now trying to change the question, Mayuri, to make objective as a right answer. Huh? Are you getting my point, Mayuri? Okay. So question, if it was there, one of the best thing the customer should do to ensure the successful project is to define and document four option. What would have been the answer then? What should you do? What should customer do for project success? Is define and document objective. Objective becomes his area. Requirements becomes your area. Are you getting this? Define,
Yes.
you cannot define objective for the customer, correct, Mayuri? Anyway, irrespective whether you solve this question right or not, whether I help you to solve it, and so on and so forth, and leave that thing little apart. Did you enjoy this process of solving the question,
Yes.
Ajay?
Yes.
Yes, but who will do estimation?
Now it is custom. He will only do it. There is no doubt, Ajay, about the fact that he should not be doing. But what he is trying to say, one of the best thing you can do to ensure customer satisfaction is to define and document. They are not saying that estimate and quality also you'll have to define. But the best thing
Actually,
out
why
of
I'm
this is
confused?
requirement.
Initially, you said that
Uh-huh.
the objective and requirement is the part of customer. So that
Ah,
comes from customer.
correct,
So that's why I'm focusing on that two options, quality and estimates.
correct.
Now the finally we got to know that the requirements is the correct answer.
The reason is
So
that इसका reason ये है अजय, because they say that it is requirement will come from the customer, but document you need to do it.
okay, so that document what is representing
Is
that.
changing. Is changing that thing. Correct? The document is changing the whole thing because it is you who
Okay.
need to document it there. Did you realize it?
Yes, yes.
वो तूने देखा है क्या रे? Every time when you go ahead and do this, Ajay, the even if you go to, let's say, booking a car,
Hmm.
did you notice that those people are too meticulous about it? Na? They will say कि सर वो rear guard लगाना है क्या, ये लगाना है क्या, and then they will so many tips.
Accessories part.
By the time, Ajay, did you realize that he said कि सर कल दोपहर में आना है, and then he will give it to you and take your signature. Did you notice that?
Hmm. Yes.
This is the document, the requirement. And वो sign off लेता है तेरे से. Forget about
हाँ.
taking delivery, Ajay, when you are giving it for servicing.
Hmm.
They call it as a job card.
Yes, sir.
You put all that tick mark and finally, sir, यहाँ sign कर दीजिए. Did you notice
हाँ.
that?
Yes, yes.
Because that becomes important. I mean, tomorrow afternoon, Ajay comes and he said कि यार तुमने तो वो पीछे वाला boot space में कुछ लगाया नहीं, and then there would be a fight about it.
Yes, yes. So that's why they documented it.
Documented, and that's what they are trying to say there. But anyway, isme hai na, don't get scared, friends. My intention is not to show you question too early to make you scared. My intention is that you should fall in love with the way in which this happens. If you do that, बाद में तो आप you will make your own way. Are they interesting? I mean, are you finding it?
Yes, yes. Very much.
तो वो गेम जैसा है रे, गेम जैसे
हाँ,
मुझे लगता
वही
है
वही
उसको।
ट्रिकी अच्छा है,
हाँ,
मतलब कुछ सोचने को मजबूर करता है
the
सभी
people who
एक्चुअली.
love solving the crossword, you know.
Yes, yes,
What do
exactly.
you get, by the way, Ajay, by solving that crossword on every Sunday morning? You get nothing.
Mhm.
You get nothing
Yes.
out of it. You start enjoying it after. के हाँ बन गया मेरा सुबह. So you will get into that flow. Once you start solving more and more, you will start getting, enjoy this. This is the common thing.
Sanjay, just a
Yes,
previous
Uday.
one,
Yeah.
previous slide. Like, I just want to understand the risk actually. Project scope in the sense
Ah,
like roles and responsibilities,
good.
schedule, start and end. Cost means the budget. Quality, project health tracker will take. This was resource management.
Hmm.
Risk.
What is this bloody business called as the risk is where I was, always giving you.
Somewhere I have had this question. One of the interview is asking me, "Do you have any risk management?"
Ah,
Yeah, that is the reason.
risk management is important, but the question here, Uday, is that balancing risk. Now, for this, I always give a different visualization. Okay. So, my friend Ajay is a pilot and he is actually, flying a flight. He's
Okay.
taking the flight from whatever, from Mumbai to Dubai. That's what he's doing. When he sat into that pilot seat, there were six dials there: scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, risk. These were the six tiles there, which were showing different, things there. So something like this. Risk is here, schedule is here, all that. Those type of dials. But not only that, Ajay. For next to that, each of them, there was a lever like this. There was a lever like this. This lever, Ajay can actually go ahead and push ahead or bring it down. So it didn't appear properly. So let me write it here. So here, and this he can actually take this lever this side or this side, minimum and maximum. Each of the lever he can actually go ahead. Okay. The whole, till the time the whole flight actually goes, he need to balance those six levers there. The schedule, cost, and all that thing, up to the risk and all that. Okay. Now, one of the catch here, however, is that if you go ahead
Sanjay sir.
and yes, Pratik.
So sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
So in the risk factor, can we mention that whether we are if we are facing any challenges while performing any activity in the project, so can we mention that in the risk factor?
Yes, that is there. That is absolutely correct, Pratik. Basically they are trying to say risk is the uncertainties which are there. If that happens, what are you going to do? Risk management is basically, identifying those things ahead and try to be prepared there. Correct, Pratik?
Yes, sir.
See, at the end of the project, Pratik, so, what I always say in the risk chapter, we'll be learning it. But because you have spoken, let me answer it right now, Pratik. So, Pratik,
Yes,
you
sir.
were doing whole of the project. It was whatever for 4 months. At the end of the fourth month, you went, and when there was the whole meeting happening, or recap meeting with the sponsor, Pratik tells his boss saying that, ki, sir, this project we are not able to deliver on time. It got delayed by, almost a month. And it was because, sir, what happened? I was always suspecting this customer is little notorious. This customer, even last 3, 4 projects, they have created some problem for us. So I was always thinking, I mean, ये customer कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ करेगा. That was I was thinking. Now, do you think you will get a pat on the back for that statement? कि हाँ, you were able to guess this before time, or
No, actually, we need to find out the solution over that.
करेक्ट. दैट्स व्हाट बॉस विल से, भैया तेरे को मालूम था, तू किया कुछ नहीं, तू क्या किया तू. You should have done it there. I have paid you for that, isn't it? Not
Yes,
for
sir.
predicting what is going to go wrong. Risk management is all about that, Pratik, correct?
Yes, sir.
External events are beyond your control, but trying to predict and making an alternative plan, they call it as a mitigation. Mitigation
Yeah.
plan for that is your job, correct?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's called
Definitely.
as a risk. But now coming back to one more thing here is that while these diameters, scope wala, if you try to increase the scope, cost will always increase. Correct?
Yes, sir.
If you
Correct.
try to reduce the schedule, some compromises in the quality might occur.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes if you end up taking a very aggressive schedule, resource might get unhappy because they need to work 12 hours every day. Correct?
Correct, correct, sir.
So these dials are actually, contradicting each other and ensuring that from flight takes off from Mumbai till it lands Dubai, ये सब बराबर चलना चाहिए. If it, one of the dimension out of that goes beyond the control, you are in trouble. Correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
That is what they are saying. Now the question which my friend, Uday, was that Uday who was saying risk? What is this risk doing here?
Correct.
Okay, so risk. Now, what is this risk as a player? I mean, does it mean that Uday as a pilot will sometimes go ahead and increase that list risk वाला lever? कि थोड़ा बढ़ा देता हूं मैं इसको. Or rather, Uday in Mumbai itself will go ahead and call the ground staff and give me a piece of rope. ये रिस्क वाला तो मैं ना ये मिनिमम पे बांध के रख दूंगा इसको. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू इंक्रीज यार. व्हाई शुड आई गो एंड इंक्रीज इट? रिस्क जो है वही है. आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन इंक्रीजिंग. इज दैट राइट स्टेटमेंट? और इज इट दैट समटाइम ही विल इंक्रीज इट? Very funny, isn't it? Yes, Pratik.
Yes, sir.
Will you sometimes go ahead and increase the risk? यार ये थोड़ी अजीब स्टोरी लग रही है. I mean, if you want to take sixth thing, कि
Sanjay,
Uday got
uh,
confused with the sixth dial. Why is this risk here? He's saying. Yes, Ajay.
actually, in that case, can we trigger the lever? See, actually, this part is up to project, means on
हाँ
which project we are working. If the
हाँ
man life is involved, that time we cannot trigger that one.
हाँ हाँ. Correct. Okay.
Accordingly, that. And
Will
one
not.
more question is there. See,
Hmm.
actually, recently you spoke that uh, if we know that this type of risk will happen with us for that project, so that time we have to prepare for that.
Correct.
We have to
Exactly.
prepare for that, or we have to change the way. See, actually, anyhow, we know that this
You
type of
have to
situation
prepare में
will
कोई
happen with
doubt ही
us.
नहीं है, अजय. You
Hmm?
need to identify and you need to prepare about it. Is beyond any doubt.
No, no, that is my question. We have to prepare for that, or we have to change our way.
नहीं, we need to prepare for that. There is no doubt about it, Ajay.
Okay,
The
we have to
question,
prepare for
however,
that.
is that
No need to change the way. We have to prepare for that. Once
ah,
the risk come, we will face it accordingly.
correct. Now, Ajay, what we are trying to say is that in some situation, will I go ahead and increase the risk? Now, I will give you the scenario, and you again answer this question, for me. Okay. So the
Yes.
question here, Uday, is that there were, some three modules in which so many team members were working there, and on a fine morning, your cost guy, the finance guy, as I told you, finance guys are very shrewd people. So
Mhm.
the finance guy writes a stinker mail to Uday saying that ki, Uday, you have already delivered only 50% of the deliverable, but in terms of efforts, you have already spent 80%. Cost wise, you have already spent 80% cost. And I can't afford your project to run at that particular cost. So my instruction to you, Uday, is that from tomorrow, all senior guys, you have some 10 senior guys, all 10 you are going to release tomorrow morning, and I will give you the trainees and try to deliver this project using trainees. Whatever you can do it, you do it that way. Uday got obviously panicked. He was not very happy with this situation, but finance wala है, उससे थोड़ी ना बहस करेगा. He will have to continue with that situation. So Uday said that ki, give me 24 hours. By tomorrow I will tell. So he said ki 24 hours, Uday. Tomorrow morning if I don't receive anything from you, I am going to tell the resource department to pull you all those 10 people and give you the trainees there. So they have no problem. Uday works hard for that whole afternoon, night, and next morning before the start of the shift, he actually writes to the finance department saying that, sir, I appreciate what you are saying. We have three modules, A, B, and C. All the senior people from A and C you take and replace them with the trainees. In B, there are four people, out of them, two you take out, but two of them you keep it. Just two of them you keep it there. Now, is this a happy situation for Uday to do?
No.
But
At least
then,
two
did
senior
you realize
guys
why did
to
he
medium
compromise
guys
on
should be
that?
there.
Yes, Uday.
At least two senior guys and two medium guys would have helped pull the
Correct.
training.
Now, what happens, Uday, is that you are, see, it was not that you were requiring those people earlier just because, you felt कि sub senior रखेंगे. It was because that was very comfortable to deliver the scope, schedule, cost. Now, what happened when your cost dial came alarming? वो रेड बजाने लगा. What you did, you adjusted the risk as a factor. It's not that it's going to be very pleasant to release those people, but you can take risk on A and C. You can't take risk on B. So you said A and B will let me take the risk. So what you are doing, you are actually taking the risk. Sometimes in the project, they very clearly say that if you say that I just don't want to take any risk, is not a wise project manager. Similarly, a project manager who said I am here to take all the risk is also equally foolish. You as a project manager should take a pride into the fact that I take calculated risk. A person who never takes any risk will not be able to deliver the project. Is that making sense?
Correct. I'm just trying to put this into IT. Like
Huh.
uh, I'm just feeling that nothing else. Yeah. Because for example, there is a tornado or cyclone.
Huh.
Maybe 2 3 weeks of my work may get postponed.
Huh.
So in this case, I have to balance this work with my resources. Obviously,
Exactly. You need to
extra
balance.
load, correct, extra load to my resource. I have to motivate them. I have to make sure
Correct.
they are
So
working.
those
Otherwise, I
three
have to
weeks,
add some other folks.
so those 3 weeks, your resource will start, working hard, extra hard. करेंगे 12
Correct.
घंटे काम. What can you do? You have no option.
If I
So
add
Uh,
more
this,
guys, it will
this you want
impact
to
my
avoid.
cost.
Correct. Want to
and adding to more on that, there should be a BCP, business continuity planning, added
Exactly.
to that. Yes,
BCP is anywhere part of, BCP,
freshman.
friends, those who don't know the long form, it is called as business continuity plan. Very often we call it the DR plan, disaster recovery plan there. So that's what it is there. Basically, risk is one of the parameter which you need to keep an into eye. And sometimes, I'm not saying always, sometimes you need to intentionally take some risk. Saying that, I will not take any risk is not a sign of a good project manager. That's what this point is actually. This the sixth parameter called as the risk here. So Uday, good you asked this question. So we could discuss, at length about it. So, okay, good. I think that's good for the day. We are entering into really an interesting thing called as life cycle, agile, and all that thing, which we'll do on the second session, which is on the coming Saturday. Because at this point, we are comfortable so far. So if I go back to my master chart, we should always keep an eye on to the master chart. And when I say by the master chart, where is my Chrome? Ha, here is my Chrome thing, and here is our plan. There we go. This one, project definition. So about PMI course, portfolio program definition of project management. That was that balancing six parameters. That's what we have covered. You will find one more thing coming here on my website just to show you this August I have kept here. But in next few minutes, this will go off and this chart will be visible there, which will be your own plan. So these two are done. On 11th, we are going to meet again and start with this.
Sanjay, where can I find this PPT which you're presenting now?
Now, if
Notes,
you go to
no,
this one,
not this one. Like the one
uh,
which you're presenting,
yeah,
this
yeah,
cost.
correct.
Okay,
Here, if you look at it here, do you notice this session study aids?
correct.
Here, slide set 1, 2, 3, class notes
Okay,
and all that. This slide set
correct.
1 has all that. And there is slide set 4 as well. Yeah, 4 rahega ye. Yeah. These
Okay,
four
okay,
and more concept. These are the 5 slides I will be using all those during whole of this period. So get
okay.
them all downloaded right now. Today only you get them downloaded. They are PDF. You can actually
Sure,
see it here. It is exactly the same material. Which is there.
sure, sure.
So you can keep that there. Normally, but they are very summary, Uday. Typically the description and narration, what I do along with that is very important. So You'll have to, if you preferably don't miss any class. And in worst case, if you miss it, go through the recording.
I
Recording will
may miss next upcoming, maybe Pongal time. I may miss.
11th and
Hardly I would try. Not
14th को रहेगा ना?
11.
Pongil is on 14th or what? 14, 15th
Uh,
रहेगा ना?
Correct. Actually I'm traveling to Taiwan actually. So
Oh, okay.
for a business project. So if I
Ah,
miss that, hardly I can find the recording. Where can I find the recording?
positively go through the recording in that scenario.
Okay. And I'll be having the previous recordings and all these recordings
Previous will go off today
access, right?
because they will become less relevant for you,
Okay.
this one. But the current one will always be there. Previous in the sense you are saying the one which were run before that class. No?
Huh.
They will be there. They will be there for, I mean, now here, the people who attended my training in August as well. For
Huh.
them, the recording is still available here. So
Okay.
it will remain always there. That you don't worry. The only problem, Uday, is that, there is some link between what I have taught today and what I will be. So if you miss next weekend, and then you start joining from the
I'll try to be
weekend
available.
after
I'll
that,
not miss. I'll try to
recover
be
before
available.
that,
At
because
least,
otherwise you will find something missing there sometimes.
yeah, at least I'll try to be joining by via mobile. At least I'll
Correct,
be having.
correct.
Yeah.
Try to do that or go through the
Only
recording.
Sunday. It may impact only Sunday, but if I miss it, I'll go to the recordings.
Brilliant. That's good. So let's catch up, friends, then, on next Saturday with this whole journey. Is that, what do you say?